Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is KrisC and I want to welcome you to a journey with KrisC. First, I'd like to start by saying I'm so excited to have you join me on this adventure. I'd like to cover a few things before we jump into the video, just so that you're aware of what to expect and what my promise to you is as viewers of my channel. So first I want to take you on a journey. I want to share my story of health, the trials, the tribulations, just the entire experience I've gone on. It's been quite an adventure, and I know there are lots of folks out there who share similar stories, and my goal is to make sure I'm reaching others, helping, sharing information, hopefully saving you a little bit of time too as you go on your journey. Also, I'm focused on providing my viewers the importance and the value of healthier living. I would like to provide some perspective as it relates to health choices, healthy lifestyles, and the reality of how to tie that all into today's daily life, because as we know, life changes so quickly and there's so much going on. And so how do we manage healthy lifestyles in today's day and age? Also, I want to share that no matter where you are on your journey, no matter what your health conditions are, no matter what your choices have been to date, the different things that have occurred in your lifestyle, various conditions, things of that nature, it's never too late to change your habits, introduce new tips and tricks to living healthier, and to change your life. So that's, I hope, very encouraging. Just remember again, it's never too late to make changes and increase the quality of your life. So let's start now. If after you watch my video, you're interested in learning more about the different things I talk about or the different things I do in my daily life, please subscribe to my channel so that you can see and learn more. I'm going to do a series of lots of different areas, topics such as food choices, how to make certain meals, shakes, things of that nature. So I'd love to have you join me. Little bit about my journey, because I'm sure just like you, I've watched enough YouTube videos to understand and question what are people about, what are they talking about, where do they come from, what's their background, what brings them here, and what makes them someone I'd actually want to follow. So again, everybody has choices. You can enjoy the story, and hopefully you will, and hopefully I'll provide some value to your life. And if so, I'm sure I'll see you subscribe. But first, I just wanted to say I've always been a person who's been very physically active. I did cheerleading, soccer. I've always been a gym rat. I love to go to the gym, love to work out, constantly at the gym, whether it's cardio, lifting weights, things of that nature. I won't lie, I've never been a skinny, tiny little twig. However, I've always enjoyed athletic opportunities and always enjoyed cardio activities. Also, at one point, I was a Zumba instructor because I love to dance, absolutely love it. So got certified in teaching Zumba, did that at the gym for quite some time. And then I also worked out with various trainers, loved hardcore things like P90X and Shaun T's Hip Hop Abs and Billy Blanks. And I mean, I've run the gamut of all of the high intense workouts, just loved them, loved Insanity, all that good stuff. So love a good workout. I also, food choices, horrible. I love pizza. I love calzones. I love everything that's not healthy for you, but that's just how it goes. My goal and thoughts always were, I work out so I can eat. However, as you get a little bit older and you start reaching a few milestones, you realize that maybe that's not going to work for the long haul. That might have worked in your teens, in your 20s, not so much towards your mid-30s and on. Caffeine. Total caffeine junkie. Drink Diet Cokes like it was a sport. And I mean literally like 32 ounces of Diet Coke in the morning, 32 ounces of Diet Coke in the afternoon just to get through a work day. It was insanity. And then I switched off of Diet Coke about 3.5 years ago. I said, it's probably not so good to drink the Diet Coke. Maybe I should stop. So I switched over to coffee. I don't know if that's much better because I was averaging I don't know, anywhere from 2 to 3 coffees a day. Didn't really care for cream and sugar, so it wasn't so much about that, but I was revved up on caffeine all the time, and really enjoyed that caffeine high that I got. Didn't realize, how much it was doing to my body over time, and how detrimental that would be later as my health conditions tended to develop. Also, from a health perspective, fairly healthy. My lab results would normally come back good, although, as a teen, I would stay up too late and ended up with mono and Lyme a couple times, and always got strep throat and ear infections and all that good stuff. So spent my childhood in and out of different medical conditions, but nothing that was so abnormally wild. But over time, learned that builds up and it can become an issue later down the line. So, moment of truth. Where did I go and what happened that made me say, might be time for a change? It was about February 13th of this year. I was sitting at work, and all of a sudden I couldn't feel my left side. Everything went completely numb. I felt numbness and tingling up the side of my neck. All of a sudden, my head started to hurt really bad, almost like a migraine. I had had some headaches coming on for a few days, and realized something's very wrong here. Next thing you know, my breathing felt restricted, and I was getting a little nervous, and I had to leave. And I'm not quite sure how I made it driving, and I probably shouldn't have been. But I'm one of those people, type A, hard charger, gonna get home, gonna do it. And on that ride home, I realized something was very wrong. And I went directly to urgent care, and they brought me in, and they weren't sure if it was a heart attack. They weren't sure if it was a stroke. They looked to see if I suffered from panic attacks or anxiety, and I did not any of those. I've always been a high stress person, always been a person that just kind of pushes through and kind of does the impossible, superwoman type A mentality. And so they did MRIs, they did CAT scans, they did chest x-rays, they did it all, and they had some findings. But the findings they were bringing to me didn't really make me so happy. So I kind of said, yeah, not quite sure about those. And they did further testing. And so I left that day being told to go home, relax, it's probably stress, blah, blah, blah. Which anybody who knows me knows I've been under so much more stress than that day and that time frame in my life. So that wasn't adding up for me. 4 days later, I'm in the hospital, barely able to breathe, shaking, just completely at a loss, could not control the shaking that was going on with my body. My body was freezing. It was horrible, and they couldn't figure it out. And they also in the ER said, oh, do you suffer from anxiety and stress? And by about the 10th time of hearing that, you want to punch somebody in the face, literally, because you're at the point where you're like, really? If I didn't, I certainly am now, because y'all are making me very upset, not figuring out what's wrong with me. So it was a moment of truth for me as I looked at everyone around that hospital that was walking and talking and functioning normal, and I realized that my life is changing forever. It was a moment that made me pause and say, what am I going to do if I can't move, if I can't raise my kids? I need to be here. And during that moment is when it really hit me harder than I had ever expected it to, that my life needed to change, and I was going to have to figure out something and do it very quickly. I left the hospital that day with lots of orders and appointments, and going to see neurologists. You're going to need to see your primary doctor, all of these different things, because they just couldn't put their finger on it. And the options they were giving me were horrible, and I wasn't willing to accept those because I felt like there's got to be a different way. So I left there. I had a series of appointments, everything from neurologists to chiropractors to internal healers to general doctors, going back through my history of Lyme disease, my history of mono, things of that nature, just to try to put some pieces of the puzzle together, and nothing was coming together. And then they said, spinal tap time. And I said, no, we're not doing all of that. I can do a lot of things, but that's not one that I'm interested in doing. So that put me on an exploration to take control of my own health, take charge of my own health. And I went into lots of reading and lots of research and learned about autoimmune conditions, reversal of autoimmune conditions, and things that you can do yourself that didn't require needles and test after test with no answer. I believe I went through 4 or 5 MRIs at this point, 3 or 4 different CAT scans, had seen doctors that tried so many different things on me, and nobody could quite put their finger on it, and everybody had a different theory, and I started to feel like a test case. And then I realized I might have to solve this on my own, and maybe modern medicine wasn't the way I needed to go. Maybe I needed to have a hard look at my own lifestyle and figure out, were there things I could do before going to the extremes of being that guinea pig, being experimented on, taking on certain diagnoses that had life-altering effects. I just wasn't there, and I'm a very strong-willed person who believes that maybe I need to take matters into my own hands. So the journey really began on February 18th, the day I left that hospital, because it was at that moment that I said, no, I'm not going to live my life in fear. I'm not going to lose the functioning on one whole side of my body. I am going to fight this, and I'm going to figure out what I need to do, and I don't care what it is, it's going to happen. And from that point forward, I took control of my life. I went back, I looked back into the intuitive healing practices. I looked back into food, my diet, and what I could change and what things were immediate. Was it supplements? Was it shakes? Was it smoothies? Was it re-educating myself about food being more medicine than taking actual prescriptions and medicine? And let me tell you, I'm going to take you on a journey. If you want to come, I'm ready, because I have done some very different, unique things. I will tell you all, because I know people have their own preferences and thoughts. I'm religious. I've always been religious. Even looking into intuitive healing took me a moment to grasp. But when you're in a situation where you realize the doctors that you've known for a long, long time and have treated you just don't know what to do with you, and they keep saying that on the outside you look normal, but on the inside you don't feel normal at all, and you're struggling from day to day, and people that are very close to you realize how hard you're struggling, whether it's tingling and numbness and brain fog and trying to figure out how you're going to possibly make it through the day because your body's so tired and you can't figure out what's wrong, because your whole life you've been such a hard charger who didn't need help and who was always a go-getter and always had things under control. That right there is enough motivation to send you on journeys. So if you're willing to open your mind, listen to some of the content I'll share with you about different options, different things to explore, and different ways to think about your health, then this channel's for you. If you are diehard, I won't do it unless the doctor says it, then I still have plenty to offer to you. And I would always say, everything I've tried, take it to the doctor. Feel free to share it. I think it's important to do that. However, I will say, keep an open mind. Again, I hope you'll join me on this journey. Again, you're on the channel of A Journey with KrisC. I'm going to uncover some different health myths, dispel some rumors, make you think about things in a different way, and challenge you. Challenge you to challenge yourself. That's my goal. It's to share with others what's happened in my life and to show you how you can take control, and you have the power to change the way your mind works, your body works, and to take control of your health. Take it into your own hands. So again, if you're interested in joining me on the journey, please subscribe to my channel, and there will be lots more videos to come, demonstrations, all that good stuff. I'm always open to any topics you're interested in hearing as well. I've pretty much explored almost everything, I think, so I'd love to share anything you're interested in. Thank you again, and I look forward to our next video.